This is Rochester, New York, July 31st, 2025. The mission of the police involves detaining, questioning, pursuing, and sometimes to use varying degrees of force to take a criminal into custody, or just to stop them from presenting or maintaining an imminent deadly force threat. In a general sense, citizens should not show the same aggressive movement towards and pursuit of a madman or criminals. That said, generally doesn't mean always or never. There are exceptions. You have to know where the lines are, the legal lines.
What's in your hand?
What is in your hand? What you mean, what's in my hand?
What's you on your hand? What's you on your hand?
Put it down!
Put it down, now!
Go down!
These two police officers sent numerous defensive projectiles in an effort to stop this unjust criminal aggressor. He fell down next to that tree, and for him, the end. Hey guys, retired Lieutenant Todd Heaton here with Humilitas First. To see the full unedited video, jump over to humilitasfirst.locals.com. You'll have access to it whether you support the work or not. Though I very much do appreciate everyone who has supported this work. Thank you. If you want to support this mission, please like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment. It really helps get this content in front of more law-abiding people of goodwill. You can also see additional content by following me on X. All links are in the description. The first call for police assistance was made to 911 at 5:23 p.m. This guy, a suspicious person described as wearing all red, walked onto somebody's deck, then started going door to door. A couple hours later, at 7:17, police received another call that the suspicious male was back. At 7:26 p.m., a third call reporting that the male had tried to enter an occupied car that was parked in a driveway. You know, people inside that car. They don't know him. At 7:32, the fourth and last call reported that the male was sitting on the hood of a car. If he doesn't know these people, this is some odd behavior. Bad guys and the mentally ill, well, they don't have any problem doing odd things, being outside of social norms. That's no big deal for them because they don't care what you think. They just do what they do. So the Rochester Police Department ends up responding to this. Now, why should you or I care? We're not police officers. I'm retired. Why should we care? What could we possibly learn from a violent encounter when police officers have a radically different mission, don't they? Well, it depends. Well, I want you to imagine a hypothetical where you're outside doing some work in the garage. You hear something, and when you look up, you see this guy who is now trespassing on your property walk past the corner of your garage towards the backyard fence gate where your two small children are playing in the backyard. Now, maybe my wife is out there with the children, or maybe she's just inside monitoring from a window. It doesn't matter because she's not going to be capable of solving this problem. She is smaller, weaker, and slower than this person. The mission's starting to change, isn't it? Starting to look a lot more like what a police officer has to do. You're going to have to go to the stranger and find out what his deal is. Tell him to get off your property and deal with whatever problems he happens to have. Because even if you call 911, well, the police, they're not just going to instantly appear and solve your problem. Avoidance is not an option at this point because it's not about you. It's for your people. It's for your children, which means you're going to have to accept the highest risks on all of the battlefields. Whether you're a police officer telling this guy that he's not free to go and to stop moving, or a father asking this guy to get off your property or telling him to stop moving towards your children. If he rejects your lawful commands, then the asking and the telling have failed, and now all that you or I are left with is making him stop. So we get this little dust up where the officer attempts to make him stop. Maybe the officer saw this weighty side of the guy's hoodie pocket. What that would mean is, well, it's time to let some slack out of the line to expand distance for what comes next. Especially after we see him blade away from the officer reaching into that weighty side pocket. I honestly can't tell you how many times as my police career developed that I heard other officers, and I'm sure I said it myself, joking, yet also acknowledging the reality that police are becoming kinder and gentler. Kinder to whom? It's certainly not kind to innocent people of goodwill, both police and citizens to permit, like a permissive parent, an unjust criminal aggressor to initiate and maintain an imminent deadly force threat. That is not kind. That is unkind to those innocent people. Note that body cam officer number 2, he is already ready up. Remember, he had a different vantage point as officer number 1 was doing his little dust up, trying to get this guy to stop. To be ahead in the process of the draw, well, that's a winning way. If you were to imagine yourself in this officer's position as the father of 2 small children out playing in the backyard, in our hypothetical which has nothing to do with what actually happened here, trying to stop a madman or bad guy from approaching your children, then realize that when he blades like this, he's using his body. He's using the right side of his body to at least partially conceal or present an obstructed view, which is going to lessen your chance of seeing his draw. So when this second officer, that at this very point would have had a reasonable fear that this guy is reaching for a weapon, which is why his gun comes out first. This first officer, he has the winning position. The bad guy's back. But to be able to dominate, to lift the bad guy and then drive him face down on the ground, it's going to require that officer has done the work to gain a lot of physical strength, weightlifting, powerlifting. Coupled with some athleticism, can you explosively get him off the ground and turn him in midair? That's going to take posterior chain, leg, and hip strength. In my opinion, these are the most important as it relates to being able to pull this part off. Yes, upper body strength matters, and it's good, but if we're talking bang for the buck, well, I like lower body and hip strength for dominating at this stage of this problem. On the other hand, if after feeling his strength, weight, and or athleticism, you have to accept reality. If you know you can't make this happen, then disengage and push off, which is exactly what we see here.
What's in your hand?
What is in your hand? What you mean, what's in my hand?
I wish I had like $1 for every time that a bad guy parroted back to me what I just said. The reason that they do this, it's because it's easy. It's like autopilot, requiring basically 0 mental bandwidth. What's in your hand? What you mean what's in my hand? His focus is someplace else. It's not on responding to what the officer is actually saying. He's stalling for time and trying to play chess instead of checkers. His focus, his mental bandwidth, it's on more important things, like whether or not he's actually going to draw and perhaps go out with a bang rather than just fleeing and trying to throw the gun. If he is going to draw, how's he going to do it? Does he like his positioning relative to the officers? Look at and remember his posture, his hips and his shoulders. See how they're mostly turned away?
What's on your hand?
He's beginning to turn to face the officers and look at his hands. There is the gun. Two-handed grip pointed down at the ground. Look at the context, the circumstances. All of the circumstances involved here. We've already had a little dust up, right? From this guy's perception, you are the problem. You are preventing him from doing whatever it is he wants to do. He just showed you what he perceives to be the solution to his problem. There's nothing more to talk about. This is an imminent deadly force threat. The time has come to stop this threat. Do you want more convincing? Based on a visual stimulus, it's going to take a human being 2 to 3/10 of a second to begin reacting. That's part of why action beats reaction. That's if you're expecting it. If you're not expecting it, if you don't really believe this thing's going to happen, well, it's going to take longer. From a low ready position like we see here, the bad guy, at any time from the very instant that he brandished his firearm, well, he could ready up and get his first of a string of shots off easily within 2 to about 4/10 of a second. Also, remember at this frame, well, we're already 3/4 of a second into his brandishing. Well, you don't get to know at what point he's going to go from this position to ready up bang. That is still part of his wicked surprise party. You want some more? Okay. This is probably what did it for these 2 officers. Watch his hips and shoulders again.
Put it down!
Put it down, now!
Put it down!
Put it down!
His hips and shoulders along with the muzzle of his firearm are in better alignment with these 2 officers. Time is the most precious commodity you either have or you lack. Don't waste it.